Good morning, everyone. This is Paula, and today I am on video to do a design team project for Tracy Fox, Love Junk Journals. Now, I'm using a variety of ephemera that she's had. What I did was I pulled out my box of leftovers from other design team projects, and I'm just pulling together some random digitals that's in her Etsy shop. I'll link her Etsy shop below and her YouTube channel. And so the only one that I really know is the Grundgy wallpaper, which I'm going to show you first. And then there's one of the big tag series that she did with Artie Mays. And I'm sorry, it's left me. I think it's Tag Fabulous or something like that. So you'll find it. You can't miss it. It has tons of tags, and they're pre-inked and stamped, and some of them even have labels. So let's get started because, we want to get it completed. I pre-cut the majority of things, and then I saved the one to show you the whole process. So I have had these little books, okay, in my stash for a long, long time, and I'm going to show you what they look like here. And so on the inside, they just have these pages stitched in, and then they have pockets on the front and the back. Now, this I thought was kind of not super attractive, so I wanted to cover them with Tracy's Grundgy wallpaper. And a lot of these came from tags. I just took tags that she had, and I had left over, and decided to decorate these little books. So let's get started on this. So I cut out a template for this heart on the front. I just cut that out, okay, and then I cut this piece out for the right side pocket, and then you flip it for the left side pocket. And so you can see here that it fits right over the pocket. Now, I cut all of the paper pieces from this, okay? And then I inked everything. And then I made some button clusters. And I used some pop dots and a little bit of lace. Now, you can use any kind of trim you want. You don't have to use trim at all. But I got this crooked when I first put it on there, and so the only thing I could do was put something across there. So I went ahead and put some lace across the top. And I stamped a little bit, although I waited and stamped after this was put together, and it's not perfectly straight, as you can see. So this is going to be my example to keep in my book. You could see that here I had done it straight on the back. So you can see that this is a tag. And when I cut off the top of the tag to make this wallpaper fit to the back, I kept the tag and just flipped it over at the top there, just for a little bit of design. I did it on the front of most of them, but I did not on this one. And then on the inside, of course, I did the same thing with the tag I used inside. I flipped it and then cut everything, and here's the tag here at the bottom. And then I put the smaller tag inside, and I went ahead and added the lace across there because I wasn't really focusing on decorating that. And the same over here. Here's some beautiful prints in Tracy's Grundgy wallpaper, and I've enjoyed using them on random things, just all kinds of stuff. And this is a perfect example. I had these books on my desk for what seems like forever, and now we're getting them taken care of. There's only 4, but if I ever see them again, I now have a way of decorating them, and they were like $1 a piece in a vintage shop. All right, so that's our example, and I'm going to set it right up here for now, and I'm going to show you how I did this in the first one. In the second one, everything's cut, and we're just going to put them together, okay? So here's how it looks without any decorating on it. I inked everything around all the edges really well, and yeah, so let's get started. Now, I already cut out this little heart, and these tags are just the small ones that will go inside, and they're already inked, and the heart is already cut out. So we're going to do these pockets, and these are the prints that we have. I went ahead, I ran out of these little flowers, so I went ahead and did 2 coordinating colors for the pockets. And so these are going to be on the front, okay, and the back. All right, let's get started. So these are fine right now. Well, no, we have to cut these too. I just realized it's been a day since I prepped this video. So you just line it up here, take a pencil, you know, just give it a tiny border. You don't have to give it anything big. And these books are not perfect as far as everything being straight, just so you know. And so I just took my trimmer, and it's sitting here to the side. I'm going to see if I can get it over in the picture a little bit. I don't know if I can, but I'm going to try just for this one part. Okay, so we're going to take this, and I penciled it where I want to cut it, and I'm going to lay it right here. And I'm going to cut that. And I'm just going to use, I'm going to take the second Grundgy tag, and I'm going to line this little piece from the top up on it and make my mark on where to cut this one off. And it just makes it a little faster. There's no measuring to this. You know how I am. I don't do a lot of measuring, but you could if you felt better doing that. You saw how I just laid it on and, you know, went from there. So there's those 2 cut out. So while we're doing the cutting, let's go ahead and make sure this left side pocket is going to be correct. And then you flip it over and do the right side pocket. Might be a tiny bit long, and that's okay. So I'm just going to do the yellow as the left side, which is the front. I laid it on here like this, and then I just marked my spot on both sides of the tag. And then I lined it up in my trimmer, the 2 marks. I got to find them first, right there. And you just take them and line them up in the cut space, and make sure they all line up nicely. And there you have it. And this is what you want to hang on to this for scraps. Okay. So now you can see this is going to fit right here. It may be, sometimes they need to be trimmed a little bit. I'm going to trim this whole little piece of the brown off on the bottom. And now, even if it's a little short, I like having a little bit of border. I got a little bit more border than I counted on, but we'll just make them both match, okay? Now, we've got the green tag for the right side pocket, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to mark it. And then set this template aside, because we've completed that part. Now find your 2 tick marks. Okay, there we go. You line them up even if they seem like they're not correct. Just make sure you line them up as perfect as you can. And here we go. This is scraps. Now, we're going to line this other one up and make sure they're the same size. I'll just flip that over. And you can see that I'm going to need to cut this little piece off at the bottom too, which didn't surprise me. All right, so those are all cut. We could put our trimmer away. I hope you guys are having a great day. I forgot to ask you. I was so involved in what I was doing here. I'm going to set the heart template to the side. We don't need that right now. Now, before we do this heart, I'm going to we're going to glue these others down after we ink them. I've inked everything except these Grundgy wallpaper tags. You don't have to go crazy. Just make the edges dark. I like them dark, so you just go like this and just make sure you're hitting those dark edges. You don't have to go crazy with it. It will be fine. Let's do the back pocket. Now keep in mind, you can decorate these any way you want. You know, you can use tea cards, any ephemera that might be left over in Tracy's scraps that you have. Everybody has them. I mean, I have so many scraps from different designers, and so go all the way around this so we can pop it on the top like it's, you know, you want this part to be a little darker so you can see it on the other tag, on the rest of the tag, I mean. I hear an airplane. You don't hear as many airplanes here in Branson as you do helicopters, because Branson has a couple different helicopter places that take people over the Ozarks and show them all the beautiful sights, and takes them over the couple lakes we have here. And that's what I was hearing. I was hearing them go over the lake here. And we do have a lake view, and it's just stunning. And we have had more rain in this town than any place I've ever lived, I think. Or else we're just having more rain this year than we're used to in Tulsa. Okay, so all of those are inked. Now, I'm going to put this aside. Okay, so now, before we decorate it or anything, we're going to go ahead and get everything glued in. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac, but you can use any of your favorite things. So you want to make sure when you're using an all floral that you have it in the upright position, okay? And make sure that you get around all the edges with your Fabri-Tac, because you want the corners down on this. And you want to remember this will be handled by whoever purchases the journal it ends up in. Or I may sell them as a set. You know, just sell them in the Etsy shop, like two in a group or whatever. But yeah, because it's not like you can get these just anywhere. So now I'm going to take the tag topper, and you could put it on the bottom like this, or on the top like this. And what I did on the last one was I had to check, but I did it on the top. So let's go ahead and do this first one on the top for sure. Because obviously that was my first instinct. And just now I had felt like I was having an instinct to put it on the bottom. So we'll put some on the bottom and some on the top. And I'm not going crazy. I haven't been going crazy decorating. I didn't go crazy decorating on the first one. But with that color, it was a little different. It was harder to find things to. But I'm thinking on this one and the others, I can add some ephemera. So I went off and I did it again. I forgot that I needed to stamp before putting my, crazy me, putting my ink, script on there. I just have this tiny little script. I'll tell you, it's convenient when you like go to crops and stuff like that and you need it, but it is actually, it blocks it out too much. It's not like just using a rubber stamp. So just a little FYI there. Let's lay it flat as we can. Maybe it'll do better if I do it like this. Let's just put one right here. And with this stamp, you have to really stamp it to get it to be, I like to go off the edges with it so it doesn't look so, you know, square or rectangle. And I'm just going to do, I need to move up a little bit, I think. So I'm going to make sure you can see. Trying to decide here. When you put two of these together, you want to make sure you're straight. And I can tell you right now, I'm not. I realized it. What can I say? It just happens. So I've got this little, and I have not used this. Oh, maybe I have not used this little scallop. I found this at a flea market, not a flea market, but an antique shop. And it just has little scallops on it. So I'm going to do it upside down and see if I can't get it as straight as possible. This may be a flop, but it wasn't too bad. I didn't do too bad with it, did I? Okay, but do your stamping before you put your stuff on. And I'm going to go ahead and, while I've got the little scallop out, I'm going to go ahead and try to get it straight on this one. I don't think I told you guys I got a new table that I'm working off of, our new surface here. So I have this big calendar paper down. Look at that. Oh my word. I actually did halfway decent with that. I just want to use it over and over. So here is our little script again. And again, like I said, I want to kind of do this like it's off to one side. So my paper may get really dirty, and that's okay. And see, it's actually straight. And I think doing it on the table will help. You always want to make sure that's upright. I was about to stamp upside down. No, I would have realized it. Trying to get it stamped. I hope I'm not wiggling the camera. If I am, I'm so sorry. I can't see it moving, but that doesn't mean anything. If I don't get that one straight, I'm not doing it close together. Well, it's not perfect. I'm going to tell you. None of them are. You know, it's so much easier to use, it's so much easier to use like a clear stamp so that you know you're getting it straight. It just is easier. And it's hard to tell when up is up and down is down on this because it's a real slanted. This is the right way, but I have to stop and look every time because I'm just not sure. I dug everywhere. I have one that I keep on my desk, and for some reason I couldn't find it anywhere. I dug and dug. You know, whenever I first got my desk set up, I'm going to do the other one now. When I first got my desk set up, I was like, wow. I have all this extra space, and I started putting things, you know, in places I thought that would be easy and convenient. But needless to say, I can't find, I put it away so well, I can't find it. Sometimes I find myself putting things where I wouldn't ordinarily do that, you know. It's kind of weird that I do that, but I have a tendency to just put it up, and then when I need it, I can't find it. Oh, I thought for a second I just saw it, but nope. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, so those are done. Okay, so put those aside. I'm going to go ahead and do our stamps while we've got this out. And I'm going to do the scallop on the top, I think. I have found if you line these up really straight and kind of keep your ink pad straight and your stamps straight, that it does make it a little easier. I'm going to get them both. Yay. That was nice. But if you keep the same motion going, you know, and you know, when you're coming out of the ink, just like duh, da da da. That's my stamping noise. And you just have a tendency not to move it, but it's really hard because it wants to move. I think I'm just going to do 3 of those, and then we'll use this little scalloped stamp again. And I'm going to turn these upside down. See if I can't get it on there straight again. Because it really was cute on the top. Yes, yes, yes. I think it's so adorable. I saw this and my husband says, what are you going to do with a tiny little stamp of scallops? And I said, I'm gonna decorate with it. You'll just have to wait and see. Of course, he doesn't see what I'm doing most of the time. Now that one's a little crooked, but don't fear. We'll make it look cute. So these 2 are going to go in there as well. And I was thinking, how could we use them on this? Let's try doing it on the side, just for fun. I'm all into this stamping right now, can you tell? And you just do it. And make sure if you do it on the edge, you can kind of watch. Yeah, it's crooked. But you can kind of watch where you're setting it down, and you know you're at least hitting the paper. It's hard to tell if you're straight or not. Okay, so there is that. Let me cover up the ink pad for now. I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Okay, now let's get all of this glued down and move along. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this inside cover here. That's going to be cute. Oh, my Fabri-Tac is, you know, acting crazy. See, my husband went to the post office for me to take order there for me, and then sent him to do some pictures for me, which he could get very involved in. I can see that happening. So finally, yesterday, guys, you know, we've had to go back and forth with the plumber to get our shower put in. Now, he was real prompt when it was time to do the bigger job, you know, put the shower in. And it was supposed to include the doors as well. And then we had someone come out in between the door, or the shower and the door, to do some spackling on the wall. So that's all ready. He did his part in a couple days, and then we haven't been able to get the plumber back yet. Well, we got him back once, and then we decided and realized we had the wrong door. Yes, thank Bernard's for that. Oh my word. Made me a little crazy, because it seems like people just don't want to work. I feel like people just do not want to work. Now this one is a little bit shorter, but that's okay. We'll bring it more up than down. Let's see how I did this one. This one is even, so we'll do the best we can. How's that? But anyway, so finally we got the new shower, and which we were not happy. My husband was not happy with Bernard's, because they put the order together. So it was their mistake. We paid, and they delivered it for $80. Yes, that's what they charged us to deliver it. $80. And I will tell you, we don't live that far. Everything's pretty close here in Branson. But that's what the people that they contract with charges them. So we paid our $80. Said we would never do it again. We'd hire someone else. And so we got that part back over there, and my husband was going to exchange it for the right shower door. He wasn't upset or anything. It happens. I, on the other hand, was upset because it seems to happen with everything when you're redoing remodeling. The remodeling's been something. Anyway, so okay. My husband, you know, talked to the guy and said, listen, I shouldn't have, there was going to be $140 difference in the 2 showers. And my husband was like, and then he said, and my manager said, you had to pay shipping again. Oh, no. My husband was not happy about that. And he said, what do you mean? He said, I'll pay the $140, but I'm not paying another $80 for shipping when it was your mistake, you know. And he wouldn't, that manager wouldn't give. And if he knew how much Rick had spent in that store since we've been here, I know how much. It was a lot. Okay, so on these, we're going to take our little half. Oh, we already did that. Yeah, I did that on the back. We're going to go ahead and put the little half down, okay? And I actually stamped it the right direction. What can I say? It's a miracle. And so he says, I got to think about that. So he left. And he had not brought the shower door in. So he left and went to Lowe's. Lowe's saved all that $140. We only had to pay $90 or $95, something like that. So we saved right there. And their shipping was $40. And he didn't mind paying $40 because that makes more sense, you know. And in a small town like, I mean, we're considered rural. That didn't want to fall off my tongues. So, you know, town. And we just, you know, we're considered that place you want to have a doctor. You pay to have a doctor come to your town, you know. No, I'm kidding. It's not that bad, but pretty close. So, we're going to do the heart now. Now, what I did with the heart is I just used these little pop dots. Now, I used a lot. I'm not going to lie. But you can use, you know, like just a double-sided tape, like a Scotch tape, or not like Scotch tape, not like the brand Scotch for, you know, not this. But it actually is on a big roll. You can get a big roll of it on Amazon. I'll be using it here in a minute, and I'll show you. The reason I'll be using it is because I don't have very many of these on my desk. We might get a couple out of this. You might think that I'm putting a lot on here. Well, I'll tell you. It really isn't, because I don't like it to sink when I put it on. I don't want it to sink in some of the areas because, you know, I don't like the look of it. It ruins your project. This one decided to stick to me instead of the heart. So, back to my husband. Yeah, those are all over the place, aren't they? I got them kind of spread out. So, okay. So he went to Lowe's and got it, saved, you know, like $50 or something on the door, and saved $40 on the delivery. So my husband was so angry. So then we've been spending 2 weeks now trying to get the plumber back out to do the doors. Now, we had paid him all but $200, and he made, you know, it was about, trying to remember exactly, but, you know, it was about like you would expect if you hired someone to do it. So, when it's all said and done, we were able to get this huge shower, doing the sheetrock and the everything. It was like $2,400, $2,500, which I think is pretty good for just putting a shower in. If you had done that through a store that did that sort of thing, you'd pay a whole lot more. Okay, so here's our heart popped up. Just get it on there as straight as you can, and then that one will be done. Now, on these tags, I don't think we're going to do any lace. I like this little trim at the top. So we're just going to put them in here. I'm going to put this one in the front because it's the prettiest. They're a little bit too tall, but I like the way they look. And Tracy's paper is perfect for this because this is a grungy kind of book. I mean, it's grungy, right? So we needed something that would work. Now, I'm going to show you how to do these clusters. You can do it with 4 or 5 or whatever. I pre-string, got my string or my thread already on my needle, so you didn't have to wait 30 minutes for me to be able to see it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just poke a couple. I just have a little piece of scrap, here, and I'm just going to lay this needle. This is what I do because it makes, when you're using anything that has a heavy surface that your needle's not used to going through, then you need to poke some friendly holes in there for it. You need to give it some help here. And so I just poke the holes in my button, and then I have a place to start. And you're going to stack this kind of cattywampus. I kind of do it both ways. Let me put it here where you can see it better. And then I usually do the other one the opposite way. I don't know what this white stuff is called, but I just saw it laying on a counter. Just a little bit of it laying on the fabric cutting counter. And she told me what it was at that time. It's been quite a while ago. I didn't think at that point in journal making that I would need to know that, but what can I say? So we have yellow doily scrap, yellow button, and this white netting, and this grunged up scrap. You can add as much as you want. You can do a contrast color. You can do whatever you want. Then you find one of your little holes that makes life a lot easier. And you pull it through. You can do an X, or you can do, let's see if I can find it doing an X. I don't want to lose all my, it's not easy whenever you're doing an X because Now I've got to find the hole across from it. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's get this one on here first. There we go. Good grief. I've done several of these, and I actually did not have any trouble. Of course, on camera, you're going to have a little bit of trouble. So you can do an X, and I would suggest you go ahead and do the full X before you just go any direction. That way your needle kind of gets led to the different holes easier. Okay. So that's much easier, poking the holes in your surface paper or your base. And you see here you can cross back and forth without any problems. When I do that, I try to just aim for the right one. You want to pull it tight each time so that your thread doesn't get loose on you. And you're just going to go back and forth. I usually do about, a total of 3 to a set of 2 holes. So, but on this one, I probably just do 2 and 2. Of course, you don't know which one you're going to go into sometimes. You just kind of got to play. Good grief. I honestly haven't had any trouble with this. Isn't that how it is when you turn the camera on? There we go. Finally. Didn't go in the hole I wanted it to go in. But it went in. And every little bit helps. So I've been putting, lace or whatever also. But I thought I'd just do this one different. One more stitch, because we've got a whole bunch on that one side, but hardly any on this other side. And now we're going to tie it off. After we pull it tight, we'll tie it off. All right. All right, and then you just stitch under a couple times to hold your button on. And then you're done with that part. That part's really simple. It may not seem like it was, but it is. If you've not ever made these, they're fun. Okay, so whichever side of your heart is the largest. I remember there was one side that was larger than the other. Look, it stitched itself in there somehow. Oh, word. There we go. Maybe we'll have it right this time. So I'm just going to really put glue heavy around the thread and around this to hold it on nicely. You don't have to do it on the edges. And you decide which way looks best. I'm just kind of sticking it on there. You want to see your heart around it. And how cute is that? Now, it does give you a little bit of depth because of the sponge dots, but you can do all of this without putting it completely down. If you wanted to cut a bigger heart of muslin and put underneath, or sari silk or whatever, but I chose to do it like this. I wanted it to be pretty simple. But now I'm thinking we should maybe get out my floral. I'm going to say, let's do floral. My floral tea cards. I got to look for a second. our little tags or T cards, or what can I say? Okay. I don't want it all to fall on top of my head. Let's see what these are. I have a lot of Tracy's T cards in different things like this, and like here's a pretty floral. Look at that. Let's see if we can find another one for the other pocket. And there we go. Let's see. That may be all of them. Okay. Now you can do that like a, you could put something under it like muslin or whatever. I did not ink these because I didn't plan on putting anything inside them. I think I'm going to do this one right here. Got to put some ink on it first, of course. Some ink on this one. And I want them to be about the same size, so I'm going to trim this. The trim on the side of this down so it doesn't look so large compared to this one. And I'm just cutting along that white line with the florals. And yeah, nothing fancy, nothing too fancy. So you can decide, you know, how you want these to look. I'm not putting fabric. I'm just going to put the floral on this particular one because I want to add, I got to see which container has it, but I want to add these little butterflies too. I'll just do it like a little cluster. So I'm going to put this just kind of over like that. Now, if you really wanted to make this grungy, and maybe we'll do it on one of the others, I'll try not to forget. I'll try my hardest not to forget. Let me get the correct one out. Just a moment. You never know. Things end up everywhere, don't they? I try to keep all my little containers. Like, these are two of the bigger ones. And then I have these smaller ones. And I have this shelf from Hobby Lobby that I keep them on in front of me. I keep this out, and we can do some T cards on the next one. I'm looking for my, I had done some, and I saw them just yesterday. I had done some, I had stamped on my, I can't remember which one it was in, but I had stamped and had these butterflies that ended up on like newsprint, or trying to think what other one it would be in. There they are, in the place you would never expect. So I don't know if you guys like Tim Holtz or not, but I don't know who doesn't, but I do. I die cut his wildflowers all the time. And we're not putting these in this one, but I'm looking for one of the little butterflies, or two of them, that I used for for something else and had some leftovers. You know how that is. Okay, so we're just going to hit some ink on this. Now you could pop these up. You could do whatever you want to these little guys. But I'm just simply going to keep it flat, so you don't want your book to be bulky. And I'm just going to flip the little newspaper piece, or the newsprint, or book page. I'm not sure which one. I think it's book page. And then just kind of give it a little bit of a slant right there. And it's just different. And we'll do that in the back real quick. And then we got to move on because we're already running out of time. And I actually have another video I wanted to do with the tags. But we'll let this one be one video. And we'll do the others another time, if we run out of time. Okay. So I'm going to do it like about the same place, or in the vicinity. Put some on the back of this little butterfly. I mean, the sky's the limit on decorating something like this. You guys know that, right? And you just, whatever you've got, just use whatever you've got. And it can be cute if it's very simple like that, or more complex. And this is how this one turned out. So I've got a couple more of these to do, but these are the two so far. I think they're cute, they're simple. And, you know, I think that's great. Now, I'm thinking that I might do, well, it's too late to do the other one. I was going to use it and do it, but I will put it up soon. So let's go ahead and move forward and work on this one. We're going to do the very same thing. These are already cut. They're already inked. And so yeah, I'm trying to figure out where the little heart is in here. Maybe I didn't do a heart for this one. I know I did. There it is. Nope, that's the scraps. That's the scraps. Well, maybe it'll show up as we're going through here. So we're going to do the front, but we need to do the inking. So we'll just ink a little bit. We probably won't have much time to do anything else. What can I say? Time just runs away, doesn't it? So both of these are going to be identical too. And so we'll just do the same type of stamping on these. I want them to be similar because you never know. I'm trying to keep my hand in the same position so they don't get too crooked like that one was. That happened because I reached over and now, you know, I have this little crooked section. Whoa, that could have been a bigger disaster than it was. Okay, now we're not going to do the scallop on this particular one. So those are the tags. They look just fine. I don't know, though. I think maybe a little bit more on here, right? If we're not going to decorate it. We'll do it there. Yeah. And really, you're not supposed to do it this dark. I'm doing it a little darker than it needs to be. It's supposed to be more just just lightly stamped, and it will look better if you do it that way. So let's try to see if I can do it that way. Now, some of them will be darker, but the thing is if you just go quickly, and then you just do some of them lighter, you know. It really will look nicer if you don't get carried away like me. It's like if I'm going to do it, I want to see it. So I was trying not to follow the very same pattern. Isn't this beautiful? I just love this one. And I'm trying not to go as dark because this is the one that's going to be on the front. So basically, with this particular stamp, it's not something I would normally use. I'm just going to tell you, it's not my favorite, but I couldn't find the other one. And I didn't want to not get to do my video. Okay, that looks better than the one I was going to use for the front. Let's do a little bit on this heart. I don't remember if we did the last heart or not. Okay, there we go. So all of that is done, and it just goes super fast. I know that we have a tendency to want to just, it's like when you're adding polka dots to something and you just want to keep adding and keep adding and keep adding. Yeah, it can ruin your project. Which is not cool. Try not to dip my arm in this because I have on my jacket I keep on my chair. It's nippy this morning in Branson. Whoops, I'm going to move this out of the way. Make sure I'm up here where you guys can see okay. Yeah, it's cold here today. We go from one extreme to the other. So today would be what I would consider a good day to go to Silver Dollar City or do any of the outdoor things. Yesterday, we had major rain and severe thunderstorms. And we have a lot of fog because we're up so high. And, yeah. Okay, so we could put the tack top that goes on the other one back here. Or we can do this one. I'm going to do the one. I like it better with the one. So we just have a few more minutes. And I just want to thank you all for jumping in and watching the video today. I'm going to give you a heads up that I am having major foot surgery. I know it's just been one thing after the other this last year. And So because of it, I can't really climb the stairs to view my videos or to record my videos. And so it's a lot of equipment my husband has set up here. When I said, honey, I want to do videos, it went, I come the next day, I'm getting stuff from Amazon. You know that I'm going to decorate this part so we can get the front done at least, maybe. Anyway, so it ended up on my doorstep the next day, and I'm like, honey, I don't even know if I'm going to keep doing this. Well, then, you know, you automatically feel like, well, you have to, because he bought all this equipment for you. It's basically just lights, but they're kind of heavy, and a stand, you know, for my phone. That's pretty much it. Okay, so we're gonna do these little pop dots on here, and then we're gonna close out the video because we've already gone too far. Again, I like to put these on pretty close together because they are, it will sink over time. And I don't want anybody to not have their project look good over time. You know, that's why I use the right amount of glue. I know the right amount is less, but I don't want to take a chance of anything falling apart on anybody I sell to. So I work really hard to not let that happen. So we've got to get off of here because we're over an hour. So I just want to tell you guys, if you had fun in the video today, I'd love it if you could give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And I will see you guys in the next video. Again, don't forget to go to Tracy's Etsy shop and check it out. She has some beautiful digitals, and you can't do better. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.